As much as we all like to rip on men, this is time to take some accountability.
So, next question here. Okay, would you rather clean sewers for $100,000 or have a high-profile, fulfilling job, but you make no money?
What do you mean by high-profile, fulfilling job?
You're an attorney, you're a doctor, but you can't make any money from it. Can't make any money. So,
Okay, I see.
clean sewers for $100,000 or whatever, you can pick the job. Whatever would be, you can't be like rock star, or like, it can't be something like where the status is like insane.
Wait, are you getting any money from anywhere else?
Yeah, good question.
No.
So like you're not surviving then? Because you need money.
Unless you marry a rich guy or you just have, I don't know. Yeah, you're not making money.
So it's like a high-profile, unpaid internship versus a dirty work job, but you're getting paid fat stacks.
No, it's not an internship. You're not fetching coffee for a doctor's office. You're the doctor. You're
But
the
you're not getting
lawyer.
paid.
Correct.
So it's volunteer work, essentially.
Sure, it's volunteer.
Interesting one. I'm gonna get back to you on that.
You gotta pick one. Here else.
Can I start?
Okay, we'll come back.
pick real quick.
Which do you pick?
Well, I mean, you need money to survive in this world, so I would obviously pick the one paying you money. You can't live without the money.
Okay. What do you pick?
Yeah, I'd have to do the sewer because how can I survive?
Sewer.
I think.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I meant the opposite. I would do the non-paying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just live in poverty, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the fulfilling job. You said if you have a husband, you know.
Maybe does that kind of destroy the purpose of the hypothetical a little bit? Chat should. Let me ask the chat. Should there be chat? Do we allow them to like have a rich? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, we gotta incorporate all the hypotheticals into
What
this.
if you're a
Well,
doctor
how about this?
and you take donations?
How about this? Let's just fast forward. You are married, but your husband isn't earning enough. Like, he earns enough where you guys are just getting by. You're just getting by, but you guys are going to have like face certain financial issues, blah, blah, blah. So you're not like destitute, but yeah, how about that?
So if it means taking care of not just myself, but the family that I build, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll clean up dog shit. Sorry for my language, but I will do what I have to do to take care of the family
Okay.
that we'll have down the line.
What about you?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, sewer still then.
I stick with my choice.
I think just getting by is just getting by, so I'd stick with my choice.
I'd take whatever gives the most money, which is sewers. I agree. Sewer.
I don't like this question.
I feel like this is like
Why?
setting up for some
Interesting.
sort of like checkmate that's kind of like already on a very intricate.
No, it's definitely a setup.
It's a setup.
It's a
That's what
setup.
it feels like. It
Yeah.
feels like a setup.
How is
sure
it?
it is.
I think you're overthinking it, to be honest.
I
but-
gotta overthink it. We're on the whatever podcast.
I think the root,
Interesting. I'm genuinely surprised the ladies chose the sewers. My question is, though, how long would they last down there? I give it about a week, tops.
the root of the question is money versus the fulfillment.
Look,
but
here's
you're
the
still
here's the
making-
point of the question.
Here's the checkmate.
Here's the point of the question. I guess if you ask men and women this question, men are far more likely to pick the sewer job, and women are far more likely to pick the unpaid but like kind of more glamorous, let's say, career.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that checks out.
Because men are a bit more money motivated than women are.
Providing motivated.
sense.
I think let's shift that mentality. If we're talking about traditional providing, you know, let's get money out of this. Money is here to provide, right? So
That's easy as a woman to say, but let me explain why this will never go away.
okay.
So, this idea, so just to be clear, your contention is with me saying men are more motivated to get money.
Okay, yeah,
Is
motivated.
that, do you disagree? Is that your contention?
No, actually,
Do you think
I
women
I
are
would agree.
just as motivated as men are?
I think recently we've been getting more and more motivated, but if we really zoom out on the time scale, no.
Yeah. So,
Men have historically been more on the must provide for my family.
well, I would even argue modern day today.
Yes, no, I agree.
Men are more motivated to make money.
Because of the binary that we've established for several millennia already. It's kind of ingrained within us.
Who established it?
Ourselves.
Is
And
it men? You think so?
Yeah, that's how it started.
Well, I'll frame it like this. So I think when it comes to survival needs, I would argue that men and women have comparable motivation as it relates to making money related to survival, right? That's the most important thing. You need money to survive.
Yes.
You need food, you need water, you need a house, you need shelter, et cetera, et cetera. Both men and women need those two things. Both of them, whether you're a man or a woman, you're paying the same rent, you're paying the same, well, men actually, maybe I'm being a bit pedantic here. Men probably pay a little bit more for food because we have a higher calorie requirement. Anyways, that's kind of irrelevant. Very minor nitpick on myself, I guess. However, I would say the second most important biological imperative next to survival would be to have kids, to reproduce.
That
And
is what
and
survival is.
the mechanism by which people reproduce is engage in monogamous. Well, it doesn't. I suppose it doesn't have to be monogamous, but you need to have a relationship. You need to date. You need to be appealing to the opposite sex. Women's finances are nearly completely irrelevant to your attraction to the opposite sex. Men overwhelmingly don't care. For certain, to be charitable, there are certain economic and financial realities to, like, most people. Both people are going to need to work. That's the economic reality. But a woman's money or her success doesn't make her more attractive to men. Mm-hmm. Whereas the same isn't really true in the opposite direction. Now, I know a lot of you are young, you're in college, you probably don't give a fuck about, oh my God, he's got a great job. You don't care. You're dating college guys, they're broke. You probably don't care. You're just like, he's fun, he's cool, he's hot. That's probably all you care about.
More so
Maybe he's a
the
good
ambition,
person.
The dream, not very few
18
men at the college age already are millionaires. If they are, fantastic. But it's at least the dream or the ambition of, hey, I'm broke right now, but I want to start a business and I want to care for you and your family. And I am 19 years old, so I don't have that yet, but I'm going to start that. That's what my boyfriend is.
I would argue perhaps ambition as a woman gets older becomes a bit more of a priority. I think most 18, 19, 20-year-old women are going to prioritize fun, good personality, hot. I don't think most really
No, I have dated people who have had no ambition, and it is terrible. I need someone who.
Well, I'm not suggesting that they have no ambition, but I would
that's
say
something I definitely look for. That and intellect, and
Yes,
you need
intellect.
to be emotionally intelligent too. Like, you need to be able to communicate. You need to have
emotional intelligence.
a plan for your future.
We'll talk about emotional
But I
intelligence.
also think that also depends, like, slightly on the way that you were raised and brought up. For sure, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But just to finish my point here on this, so as a man, if you want to get romantic attention from the opposite sex, not to say, look, you could be broke and but for most men, women place. I would say women, it's actually women who uphold this. We were talking about who set that up. Women, even in 2025, women have had the vote for 100 years. This idea that, like, there's some evil patriarchy that's, like, insisting that men pay for first dates. It's actually just women's own individualistic preferences, that there's a tendency towards wanting men to pay for first dates. You enjoy the benefit of not having to pay for the date. Women uphold this. There's no, like, evil male conspiracy to be like, hey, men, we all want to waste money on dates. Not at all. It's actually women who uphold this. So for a guy to be able to, and it really from pretty much anywhere across the board, for a guy to get laid, for a guy to get romantic interest back from a woman, for a guy to get into a relationship, for a guy to eventually get married, he has to, there's a financial component to that.
Yes, there is. It's our burden of performance. Since men are faced with this reality every single day, every single moment of our lives, we will naturally have a greater motivation to get money and provide. It's that simple. I'm not saying money is everything for a man, but it sure is a lot.
Like, if I want to go on a date with a girl, maybe, look, I'll frame it like this. Let's say 50% of this country is conservative. 99% of conservative women want men to pay for first dates. And then the other 50% of women are liberal. Even liberal women, progressive women, Kamala voters, Democrats, even liberal women love the benefits of traditional gender dynamics so long as it benefits them. So even liberal women, yeah, a guy should pay for the first date. Maybe, I'm not saying all, but even if I were to be conservative and say, you know what, it's of the 50% of the women who are liberal, 20%. Well, so I guess, here, let's just say 50% of liberal women want men to pay for first dates, right? You can bicker with me on that if you think it's less or you think it's more. That would mean 75% of women have an one-directional gender expectation that men pay for first dates. Okay, you've just introduced finances mattering when it comes to dating, getting laid, getting a relationship. So finances are absolutely inextricably linked from dating, even casual dating. So
I see the paradox you're trying to bring up, and I cannot speak for myself.
Yeah.
The paradox of, no, I understand what you mean, like feminism of providing for yourself, but enjoying the benefits of traditional values that are seen in conservatism. I cannot speak on that. I can only speak from my own experiences. I have never, like I said, never had a formal date. Every time something has happened, I've paid for it just out of the love and care. Money does not matter to me, it is loyalty, because that is harder and harder to find, especially knowing that in our generation, materialism, it goes both ways. On a broad generalization, like I said, there are exceptions, and we have a lot of exceptions in this room, including myself, including her. There's materialism that goes both ways. You know the reason I haven't had that many partners? I've had 2 or 3. I don't really show my body, and that is what men seek out. That is what men desire.
Okay.
I'm a little stinky.
Said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
I do fairly quote-unquote boyish masculine stuff, but when it comes down to it, I am loyal and I'm feminine in my essence when I am loved and cared for. How do I explain this? I did not develop masculinity, or in other words, this cover, to gain male attention. It was to avoid male advantage. You know what I mean? I cover myself up to avoid objectification. That's a whole other train of thought, but the materialism itself goes both ways. There is, I guess, on a very broad sense.
So just to be clear, you're like, what do you think about Muslim majority countries where the women cover up?
I mean, I'm
are you
pretty
in favor
modest.
of, I mean, the United States is pretty liberal on this. Like we don't have like requirements to wear hijab. We don't have requirements to wear that sort of Muslim garb. But there's rampant objectification in the United States. So just curious, are you more, which way do you lean? Like, well, on one hand, how do you balance women's freedom to dress as they like? In the United States, women can dress however they want, but that entails like some degree of objectification.
There's objectification either way. I was dressed exactly like this when I was abused when I was 12.
Oh my God.
I don't mean to start like trauma dumping, but it does not matter your clothes. I'm sorry, but I mean this to say, Muslim women will still get raped, they'll still get assaulted, they'll still get abused. No matter what you're wearing, I'm covered head to toe, and that abuse will still happen. So objectification.
The reason in these Muslim countries they do this is to prevent. Well, I mean, there's actually quite a bunch of reasons, but one of the even if it's an unintended consequence, would be the limiting of sexual objectification of women.
Yeah. So
okay. Well, I'm a little bit confused here, though. You said that it's so men You dress the way you do so men don't objectify you. You said that that's what men do. Men just objectify women if they're wearing like a tank top, I guess. I don't know why that would be the
I don't
case.
mean that entirely, but the generalizations go both ways.
So
women
are women like perfect angels that don't objectify men?
No, not at all. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. On a broad sense, now, like I said, there are exceptions on men's case and women's case. It is human to have bias and to have very fast assessments because it was about survival. Let's date back let's date back several millennia to hunter-gatherer situations. Men looked at the size of a woman's hips to determine if those hips could bear his children because back then it was about survival. Same thing with a man's strength, with a man's ability to carry a deer on his back. This is some amygdala. I don't know how to explain this. This is innate, you know? So I don't think it's the bias that we should keep attacking on each other. Men objectify women, women objectify men, this and this and this. There's a middle ground to this.
Let me ask you a question. I'm dying to know the answer to this. How can I objectify you if you already objectified yourself? I'm biologically designed to be attracted to you. Let's not play games here. If you come around with a mini skirt, breast all out, smelling good, of course I'm gonna look. It's like dangling meat in front of a lion.
That's what I call a chain reaction.
Manifest my own destiny. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, the perfect recipe. May they remember me, my words will live on. I'm guided by an energy, a flame, hold it close to you. Check out my melodies. It's the media that's been leading you. I'll show you a thing. Misdirection, what's the message? They don't want you to win.
As much as we all like to rip on men, this is time to take some accountability.